Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. I'm Mike Braedley, and yeah, I've done a fair amount of work off camera. This is our antimatter station, and of course, you don't see any antimatter containment pods or antimatter collectors or even a science lab on it yet, because that's the next thing on the list to be launched. So yeah, this is the first three launches essentially. We've got our station core up here, which was launched first, then our reactor, and then I realized I did not have enough cooling, so this cooling section down here. And then, yeah, just a little docking node and a single engine to make minor changes, although it's not going to be necessary. But yeah, next up we're going to bring up our antimatter collection unit. So I'll go ahead and build that and see you on the launch pad. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, it's fairly simple. It's just our probe core, collector, and two antimatter tanks. So these should be charged. Yep, and hopefully they're not going to lose charge because I can't shut down the collector. And if these have any antimatter in them and they lose their charge, they explode. But anyways, I think I'm in a good position to catch the station since it's in such a high orbit. You'll remember that I figured out that 900 kilometers is about the proper orbit. And actually, even before recording this episode, I tested that this guy doesn't have to be at the very front. It can be someplace in the middle, and it'll still collect antimatter. So anyways, let's get this guy throttled up and into space. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch! And he's a little slow off the launch pad, but that's fine. Because he has more than enough thrust and more than enough delta V to actually get this guy into orbit. Anyways, I'm not gonna make you watch that at least not in real time. I might fast forward it, or I might just jump to the rendezvous. Okay, so we're back, and that that launch was a little touch and go there for a minute, and as you can see, we were even losing charge on our antimatter containment vessels, and that's because we were on the night side and in eclipse of the moon as well. If you can, yeah, there you can just see the edge of the moon. But we have something of an encounter. It's not a great encounter. With our station, we'll do a correction burn there, and then we'll get to proper rendezvous. So yeah, I'll bring you back when we have the station in view. So I decided to leave this bit in, just because well, yeah, you'll see. So I get around to getting closer to my rendezvous, and then eventually, not quite yet. Well, oh no, that was something else. But here I start to try and warp, and oh, what are those messages? What's happening? Oh no, my antimatter containment pods are failing. Okay, rotate the solar panel into the sun. Hopefully I can get some more sun. Oh, please, recharge the containment vessels. Come on. Ah. Yeah, so that launch didn't work. Bye-bye, vessel. Well, guys, this is take 2 of this launch. Yeah, my last ship exploded. I probably should have let it be, but I reverted anyways. But anyways, I've trying to prevent that again by basically disabling antimatter on these two, so hopefully none will be collected. I'm not charging, so I'm not using energy. So we can see that building up, thank goodness. But I can't disable the collector, which is what I really want to do. So hopefully that will be good enough. Well, we'll find out. Excuse me. We'll find out here in a few minutes when we get into orbit. But anyways, the launch comes first. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch! And yeah, she's a little slow off the pad, but she makes up for that with plentiful Delta V. Anyways, it's also good that I'm doing this a second time because, well, my first launch kind of sucked. It was far less than optimal. But anyways, I'll get this guy into orbit and maybe even near the station, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, that went a whole lot better. I've disconnected from my launch stage. It still has a whole bunch of fuel, but I kind of wanted to fall back to the surface. So his periapsis, as you can see, is going to be about 38 kilometers, which should be enough to get it at least auto-removed, and if not, then decay over a couple of orbits. But anyways, I probably didn't launch at the best time because my intersect is way off. But we're going to get up there, and we're going to make our first burn. So, not collecting any antimatter yet. That's good because we're at an altitude where we could be collecting antimatter, although not a whole lot. So hopefully I won't have my exploding ship problem again. And since I'm doing some post-commentary now, I can say with some authority that I don't have the exploding ship problem this time. In any case, we're just fast-forwarding through the rendezvous, which will only take one orbit in order to catch up. First, though, we're going to correct, at least partially, the relative inclination. You save fuel by doing your inclination changes when you're going slow. I'm not at the apoapsis, but I am going slow enough to do the change now. And with that, we're ready to set up a rendezvous one orbit later with a single burn. A little bit of time warp to get us close, and a burn to kill some relative velocity, and we are ready to dock. Well, first we have to get a little bit closer. I can barely see the station at this point, and I don't even know which end I'm approaching from. So it's all just standard docking procedures. You get your prograde vector on top of your target vector, or target indicator, do a little bit of time warp to basically cut down on the time it takes, because you don't necessarily want to be far or thrusting towards the station, or towards your target, or going at a nice fast velocity. And then it's, you have a little bit more time warp, kill some relative velocity, that sort of thing. And it turns out I'm approaching from the wrong end. The end I'm approaching has the regular clampotrons, but I want to dock with the large clampotron, since that's what's on this new section of the station. I have to make my way around the station without so much as breathing on the radiators, since they're as fragile, or possibly even more fragile, than the solar arrays. But once I'm on the correct side of the station, it's a simple matter of lining myself up with a little help from the docking alignment indicator, and thrusting towards the station. So, of course, in order to actually do that alignment, you basically just line up your orange attitude indicator and your green offset indicators with your final velocity vector indicator. And once those are all lined up, you're basically guaranteed to dock as long as you thrust forward and get it done within, well, at least no more than about a minute is about the time frame that you have once you have it all lined up. And we are docked. Woohoo! Okay. So now that we're on station power, we can turn these guys on. And in a little bit, we will start to see antimatter pop into these, hopefully. So let's take a quick look at our power. Yeah, we're not using very much of it right now, because this guy doesn't really take much power. And, Let's do a quick warp and just make sure we're actually going to collect some antimatter. Yep, there we go. So of course this is going to take a long time, but it's actually faster than doing it on the surface. That's another thing I did off camera just to test, is see what kind of rates we could get on the surface. I'm basically going to repurpose that guy. I haven't shown it to you yet, but I'm going to repurpose him as just a science lab, and he'll just do science the entire time. But right now, I think I'm going to leave this and start another mission. We're going to be headed to Duna and actually land a Kerbal on Duna and Ike, because we need more science. So I'll be back with the first part of that mission. So this is the first part of our Duna mission. This is going to be the lander, and he's going to basically form the first part of the spacecraft that's going to be taking our Kerbals to Duna. And anyways, yeah, it's going to be a multi-launch mission, basically to assemble a spacecraft capable of getting us to Duna. I'm not going to do it all in one shot or even in 2 shots. It's going to be probably 3 or 4 launches to get everything we need up into low Kerbin orbit, and then with their launch of a crew, then it's just a matter of waiting until the right time to do that launch with the crew, the final launch, so that we're in a proper point to transfer it to Duna. But anyways, the first step, of course, is getting at least one thing up in space, so let's get that done. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch! And again, this guy is still a little slow off the launch pad, although we're pulling decent G right now. Only 1.2, but that's more than enough. Basically, we only want him in low Kerbin orbit anyways, so like maybe 80 kilometers, maybe 85. And that way we can take advantage of the O-berth effect when it comes time to transfer it to Duna. But I'm not going to make you sit here listening to me while we do this launch, so I'll see you in orbit. Well guys, that just about does it as soon as we get this guy into orbit. Of course I'm going to let this first stage basically fall back to Kerbin. What's that at? Yeah, that's probably good enough. So, even though we still have a whole bunch of fuel left in there, that doesn't matter. It's more important not to leave space debris around. And, oh, that's not exactly the way. Oh no! That is so not good. Wow, I totally messed up that staging. But anyways, we're in orbit. We're gonna, in next episode, get some more components of this Duna mission assembled, as well as the final parts of our antimatter station up and running. And yeah, I'll worry about this staging here in the after I shut off the camera. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'm Mike Braedley. This has been Kerbal Space Program. I'll see you next time.